Hey everyone, it's Ray. Welcome to my kitchen. When my friend and I were in Las Vegas, we were on the hunt to find healthy restaurants on the Strip. And actually we found 4 restaurants that were relatively healthy, super delicious, but one of them we went back to twice because the first night we went, we had an appetizer and it was a ginger glazed Brussels sprout. It was so delicious. We both enjoyed it thoroughly. And we went back again and I had it as a main dish. So I came home on a quest to try to recreate that recipe. And it's almost the same. It's not the same, but it's almost the same. So I am going to share it with you today because it is so delicious. So it's going to be a 3-step process, and we're going to do step 1, which is really part of it I've already done, but I'll explain everything. And then the second part, we're going to make a sauce while the Brussels sprouts are roasting in the oven. So let's dive into this just so you can see what I've done so far. So I lined my baking sheet with parchment paper and I put 1 chopped onion, so just a regular chopped onion, but I used a sweet onion. And then I sprinkled in various mushrooms. So they used wild mushrooms in the restaurant. I couldn't really find wild mushrooms, but I'm using creminis, oyster, lion's mane, and the white button mushroom. I put those on the baking sheet and I didn't put any oil or anything on the baking sheet. I used parchment paper because using parchment paper, nothing's going to stick. Everything here, of course, is always organic. I'm making a double batch. You would use normally just a pound of Brussels sprouts. This is 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts. So this is 2 onions, so that everything's doubled on my sheet pan. I washed the Brussels sprouts. I cut off the ends and now I just cut them in half the long way, and now we're just placing them on top of the onions on the baking sheet. And once we have everything placed on this baking sheet, then the baking sheet is going to go into the oven at 400 degrees for 15 minutes, and it's going to roast these Brussels sprouts. Depending on how you like your Brussels sprouts, you can cook them longer or shorter. So I find that 15 minutes at 400 degrees is good for me. Now they will go back into the oven once we make the glaze to go over the top. So, you could leave them in the oven a little bit longer then. But when I was testing this recipe, I found it better to cook it longer out of the gate without the sauce on it, and then shorter on the back end with the sauce. Now you notice I've got some random leaves here. So this happens when you cut the end off the Brussels sprout. It kind of changes the integrity of the sprout. So it doesn't stay together as well as if you don't cut the ends off, but you really have to cut those ends off because they're brown and icky. So mine are clean ends, and the main thing is I'm just throwing these loose green pieces of the Brussels sprout leaves on the baking sheet as well. And again, we're just making sure that all the Brussels sprouts are just not piled up on top of each other. They're on a single layer on top of the onion and the mushrooms. And that is it. And we'll be back to make the sauce. All right, while our Brussels sprouts are in the oven, we are going to move over to our burner here. And what I have done is I have poured 2 tablespoons of the organic vegetable broth, the brand I love, or a Bonafide. I've talked about it in many of my videos. And I've put that on the burner just to get it warm. Now we are going to add shredded ginger and some shredded garlic. And I just shredded it on the microplaner. We're just going to get that in there first so that it has a chance to warm up just a little bit and the flavors have a chance to open up. And then we're going to start layering other ingredients, and these are going to be the sauce ingredients for the Brussels sprouts once they come out of the oven. So we're going to start with a 1/2 cup of Bragg's Aminos. Now, Bragg's Aminos is a soy product. It's very similar to a soy sauce. This is what it looks like. I've talked about it before in other recipes. You could also use tamari at this stage. This is the soy base of the soy-ginger glaze, okay? And of course, the ginger is the ginger part of it, but we're adding some other ingredients as well. So we've got the garlic, we've got the ginger, we've got the vegetable broth, and now we've got the soy. Okay, and then next we are going to add a little bit of plum vinegar. This is the plum vinegar that I use. I like to use this in a lot of my Asian cooking. You could also use a rice vinegar. If you have rice vinegar, use that. But I like the plum vinegar. So if you don't have the rice vinegar, I would recommend the plum vinegar over the rice vinegar. We're just going to give that a quick stir. And then we're going to add tahini. Now tahini comes in a packaging like this, but tahini is basically a sesame butter. So we're going to add a sesame butter, and that's going to act as a thickener. And we're going to give this a really good stir because it is a butter, so it's thick, you know, like peanut butter or almond butter. I wish you could smell this. It smells so delicious. Okay, and then next up, we are going to put in my version of mirin. This is rice vinegar and date sugar, and that's what makes the mirin flavor. It is not mirin. And that is going to sweeten it up because of the date sugar. And I'm noticing in here, I don't know if you can see, but the tahini is still kind of chunky. So I really want to get that stirred in. I don't want it to be chunky at all. It needs to be smooth. Okay. And then lastly, we are going to add my favorite, date syrup. You could use a molasses, you could use a maple. I like date syrup. That is my go-to. We're gonna bring it up to a boil here now that we've got all the ingredients in there. And then we're gonna be ready to move on to the next step. Okay, our Brussels sprout onion mushroom mixture is now out of the oven. And so we're gonna put it in this big bowl, and then we're going to add our delicious sauce. Then we're gonna put it back in the oven to finish it off, okay? So what I love about using parchment paper, one, nothing sticks, and two, it makes it easy to move things around. So let me show you what I'm talking about. We're going to reuse this same parchment paper, but the cool thing is, look how easy that was to get everything off of there. Now I've got a few straggler mushrooms that I'm going to throw in. Okay, and then we've got our sauce over here, and we're going to just pour the sauce on top. Okay, and now I've got 2 large spoons, and we're just going to toss everything together. So just very lightly tossing everything just to get all of the sauce on all of the vegetables. Okay, and then back onto our baking sheet. So now we've got everything back into the pan, and we're just going to try to get a single layer of our Brussels sprouts, and then we're going to get this back into the oven. But before we do, we are going to add one more ingredient. That ingredient that we're adding is pickled Serrano chili. Now, I pickled these myself, and it's really simple to do, and I will give you the instructions. They have been sitting in the refrigerator only for about 30 minutes. This pepper is very spicy. What I love about pickling it, it does take a little bit of the bite out of it, and it adds a little bit to the dish because of the vinegar that it was pickled in. I've never seen pickled Serrano chilies in the store. Otherwise, I probably would have bought them. But since I didn't, I made them. So I'll tell you how to do that. And it's simple, but do that first because that's got to sit in the refrigerator for 30 minutes before you can actually use it. And then I had fire roasted the Serrano chilies, and all I did was hold them over the flame on my gas stove before I pickled them, and then I sliced them very thin before I put them in the mason jar. I added the ingredients for the pickling, and then that's it. So that's what's on here now. So we're going to go back into the oven, and we're probably going to go 10 minutes at this stage, and then we're going to have a taste. Our Brussels sprouts are out of the oven. I've got the whole pan over there, but I pulled some aside so it could cool. And while it's cooling, before we taste it, I just want to talk about the value of Brussels sprouts in your diet. So it is a cruciferous vegetable, so super good for you. Loaded with antioxidants. It's got a little bit of protein in it. It's got omega-3 in it. It's got vitamin A, B, E, K, C. It's got iron. It's got potassium. It's got calcium. I mean, Brussels sprouts are just really, really a good all-around vegetable. And a lot of people don't like them because they just steam them and they're plain, and then, you know, they're just steamed Brussels sprouts. So I like to spice them up a little bit. Now, the Serrano chili, I know is going to still be spicy. So if you don't like the spiciness of the Serrano, you could use a jalapeno, which is down a little bit on the scale of heat in terms of peppers. The problem is they're not red, and I love the way the red pepper looks on the plate with the other ingredients. And it has enough sweetness from the date, both date sugar that was in the meringue and also the date syrup that we used in the sauce. A little bit of sweet, a little bit of spicy, and some delicious and healthy for you vegetables. So let's have a taste. The pepper is spicy, but I actually love the heat. For me, it's perfect. There's just a right amount of spicy and sweet in this dish. Oh my goodness, it's really good. And it really was pretty easy, I think, to put it together. And I'll give you the recipe so you can know how to do the pickled chilies, as well as all the ingredients and all the measurements that went into this dish. I hope you're going to try it. It's really good. It's going to make even people who don't like Brussels sprouts, Brussels sprout converts. Bon appetit, everyone. Give it a try.